The year was 1968, and America felt like it was standing on the edge of a knife. Cities were tense, people were angry, the Vietnam War raged on, and racial wounds were deepening instead of healing. Amid this turmoil, one city, Memphis, had become the center of a struggle that symbolized the pain of the entire nation. Black sanitation workers, treated like they were disposable, marched through the streets holding signs that declared the simplest truth: I am a man. They were not fighting for luxury or privilege. They were fighting for dignity, for humanity, for the right to be seen. When Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. heard their call, he knew he had to go, even though he was exhausted, discouraged, and carrying the heaviest weight he had ever known. He had just been criticized from all sides. White politicians calling him a troublemaker, young activists accusing him of being too soft, the FBI keeping him under constant surveillance, and newspapers condemning his opposition to the Vietnam War. He had sleepless nights, constant threats, and the creeping sense that his life might soon end. But Memphis needed him, and he could not turn away. When he arrived in the city, reporters swarmed him, cameras flashed, and questions flew across the air. But inside, he looked tired, more tired than his followers had ever seen him. His closest friend, Ralph Abernathy, whispered nervously, "Martin, you need rest, real rest." Dr. King simply replied, "I'll rest when the work is done." Deep down, he knew he might never see that rest. Meetings in Memphis were tense. His advisors argued about the march. Some wanted to cancel it, others feared it would turn violent again. Dr. King listened quietly, his fingers tapping slowly on the table, his face thoughtful. After a long silence, he finally spoke. "If we abandon these workers now, we are saying justice can wait, and justice has waited long enough." His voice was weary but firm, and no one could argue with the truth in it. That night, alone in his hotel room, he sat by the window with the curtains open, watching the lights of Memphis flicker in the darkness. For years he had been haunted by dreams, dark dreams of his own death. He never told many people, but he felt danger growing closer every day. The threats were more serious, the hatred more intense. He knew he was not safe, but instead of feeling fear, he felt acceptance. "If death is the price of freedom," he whispered, "I will pay it." He picked up the phone and called Coretta, her voice calm and steady, wrapped around him like a warm blanket. She told him he sounded tired. He told her he was. She begged him to be careful. He promised he would try. They both knew he could not promise more. The next morning, he met with volunteers, organizers, and ministers. They practiced nonviolence, rebuilt march plans, printed flyers, and prepared for the demonstration. But beneath the activity, tension simmered. Rumors spread of violence, provocateurs, and police aggression. His followers begged him to return home, to let someone else lead this march. But Dr. King refused. "If I send others into danger while I remain behind," he said, "then I am not fit to lead." Crowds gathered wherever he went. People cried, cheered, and reached out to touch him. Children looked at him with wide eyes full of hope. He carried their dreams like a heavy load on his shoulders. But sometimes, in the quiet moments, he wondered if he was failing them. Was justice moving fast enough? Were people still suffering too much? The weight of it all pressed on him like a mountain. What he did not know was that another man had entered the city as well. James Earl Ray. A drifter filled with bitterness and delusion. A man who believed killing King would give his own life meaning. As Dr. King fought for justice, Ray searched for the perfect moment to take his life. That evening, Memphis was hit by a fierce storm. Rain crashed against windows, thunder shook the sky, and streets glistened with water. Dr. King lay on his bed, feeling the ache in his body and soul. He wanted rest. He needed rest. But the movement needed him more. At Mason Temple that night, thousands of people waited in the pouring rain, chanting his name. Abernathy stepped up to the microphone and told the crowd Dr. King was too tired to come. The people refused to accept it. Their voices rose higher and higher until the sound reached Dr. King at his hotel. He stood up slowly. "Get my coat," he said. When he walked into the temple, the building erupted with applause so powerful it felt like thunder inside the walls. He stepped to the pulpit, soaked in exhaustion, but glowing with a strange, radiant energy. And then he delivered the speech that would become his final prophecy. He spoke of the struggle in Memphis. He spoke of justice. He spoke of the future. He spoke of peace. And then, with a trembling voice, he spoke of death. He said he was not afraid. He said he had been to the mountaintop. He said he had seen the promised land. And he said something that made the entire crowd silent. I may not get there with you, but we as a people will get to the promised land. Those words shook everyone who heard them. Some cried, some shivered, some felt certain he was saying goodbye. That night, people whispered that Dr. King had sounded like a man who knew time was running out. The next day, April 4th, 1968, began with sunlight and laughter. Dr. King joked with friends, teased one of the pastors about his habit of not wearing proper shoes, and prepared to go for dinner. He stepped out onto the balcony of the Lorraine Motel, smiling, relaxed for the first time in days, and then a single gunshot tore through the air. His body collapsed. His friends screamed. People ran. The world stopped. In one brutal moment, a bullet ended his life, but not his dream. Cities erupted in grief. Nations mourned. Millions felt a pain that words could not describe. But even as the world cried, something else rose from the ashes of that tragedy. His dream lived. In every march for justice, in every child who believes they matter, in every voice that rises against hatred, in every heart that chooses love over violence. Dr. King never truly died. The man